Good evening, everyone. This is a special report on an unprecedented flood disaster in Italy. Unusually heavy rains have poured down on the Milan area and Lake Como, creating a terrifying scene. Lake Como, famous for its serene and picturesque beauty, has breached its banks, with water spilling out and flooding densely populated areas. This is an extremely dangerous situation, and local authorities have issued an emergency alert, urging residents to immediately evacuate the threatened areas. We are currently standing in the heart of Milan, where floodwaters have surged into the main streets, turning this area into a raging river. Water from Lake Como, combined with torrential rains, has inundated the entire region. Cars have been swept away like tiny toys in the fierce current. This scene of devastation has plunged the entire city into chaos, with no one able to distinguish between the streets and the floodwaters. The people of Milan are in a state of utter panic. Cries for help can be heard from all directions, from high-rise buildings to apartments in low-lying areas. They are trapped in the rushing floodwaters, unsure of how to escape. Some have had to climb onto their rooftops, waiting for rescue teams, while the floodwaters continue to rise by the minute, intensifying their fear. Lake Como, one of the most famous and picturesque tourist destinations in Italy, has lost its usual tranquility. The lake's banks have been breached under the pressure of rising waters. Massive waves have surged through, sweeping away everything in their path, from lush gardens to lakeside homes. The residents living near the lake were completely unprepared for this rapidly unfolding disaster. In response to this urgent situation, local authorities have issued a red-level disaster warning, the highest level of alert, urging residents in the affected areas to evacuate immediately to safer locations. However, not everyone has been able to leave their homes in time. Many families remain trapped, unprepared for this emergency. Authorities are making every effort to get them out of the danger zone before the situation worsens. The race against time has begun. Rescue teams from neighboring areas have been deployed, using boats and rescue rafts to reach isolated areas. However, the floodwaters are so powerful that access has become extremely difficult and dangerous. With each passing minute, the floodwaters continue to rise, turning streets into raging rivers and threatening the lives of thousands of people. Every effort is being concentrated on saving lives, but time is not on our side. outskirts of Milan suddenly collapsed, unable to bear the weight of the floodwaters. Massive concrete slabs plunged into the water, creating large waves that swept away everything in their path. The sight of the bridge collapsing, with debris falling into the raging waters, made the horror of this disaster even more apparent. Residents living near the collapsed bridge are racing to find shelter before the floodwaters wash away any remaining hope. Traffic in Milan has come to a complete standstill. The once busy streets are now nothing more than raging rivers of floodwater. Vehicles are stuck in the water, unable to move, forcing many people to abandon their cars and find their own way to safety. The sight of abandoned cars floating in the murky waters, along with panicked residents trying to navigate the rushing currents, creates a scene of chaos and despair. Nature has shown its terrifying power in this disaster. The floodwaters have not only destroyed roads but have also invaded industrial and commercial areas, leaving once bustling districts in ruins. High-rise buildings have been submerged up to the first floor, and many shops and businesses have been wiped out in just a few short hours. We are witnessing a catastrophe that is not only natural but also economic, with far-reaching impacts on the lives of thousands of people. In this urgent situation, residents have organized makeshift rescue groups, using whatever they can find to help each other. Inflatable boats and wooden planks have become rescue tools, helping people navigate through the rushing floodwaters. They have set up temporary barriers, trying to stop the water, but the power of nature is too overwhelming, making their efforts seem almost futile. Yet, the solidarity and courage of the people are the only glimmers of hope in this storm. Police and rescue forces are working tirelessly, trying to evacuate residents from the flood-ravaged areas. They are facing extremely dangerous challenges as the floodwaters continue to rise and the currents grow stronger. In these harsh conditions, the courage and determination of the rescue teams provide some comfort to those who are trapped, but they are also aware that time is running out. Every rescue effort is a battle against nature, fraught with tension and danger. Some areas in Milan have been completely isolated, with no way to reach them by any means. We have received reports from those trapped that they are running out of clean water, electricity has been cut off, and food supplies are dwindling. They are stranded on the upper floors of buildings, watching the floodwaters sweep away everything around them. Cries for help echo through the night, but rescue teams are still struggling with significant challenges to reach and save them. In the midst of this desperate situation, there are still touching stories of survival. A family of 5 clung to the roof of their home for more than 8 hours before rescue teams found them and brought them to safety. They endured hours of intense stress and fear, but their solidarity and determination helped them overcome the ordeal. Stories like these are a great source of inspiration for others, giving them the strength to continue fighting against the disaster. According to meteorologists, the heavy rains in Milan and the surrounding areas are expected to continue for the next few days. This means that the risk of flooding will persist, and disaster prevention measures need to be further intensified. Authorities are preparing for the worst-case scenarios and are urging residents to stay in safe locations and avoid dangerous areas. This is a long-term battle, and everyone needs to be mentally prepared to face the challenges ahead. Dear viewers, the situation in Milan and Lake Como is becoming extremely serious. This is a time when unity and community spirit must be maximized. We must come together to overcome this difficult period, follow all government directives, and support each other to protect lives and property. We will continue to provide the latest updates on this disaster in our upcoming broadcasts. Thank you, and see you in the next reports.